Through dust and debris, a 7-year-old boy saved a trapped little girl. What the biker father did next surprised everyone. The sky above the quiet neighborhood was a bruised purple, heavy with the promise of a storm that never came. Instead, the destruction arrived from beneath the earth. With a groan that sounded like the planet itself was breaking, the old warehouse wall gave way. In seconds, a cloud of choking gray dust swallowed the street, and the laughter of children playing nearby turned into screams of terror. When the dust began to settle, the scene was apocalyptic. Twisted rebar jutted out like skeletal fingers, and piles of concrete blocks formed an unstable mountain where a playground once stood. Emergency sirens wailed in the distance, but they were still minutes away. In those critical first moments, it was the neighbors who rushed forward, their faces pale with shock. Amidst the chaos stood a figure that made the crowd part instinctively. It was Iron Jack, a man known throughout the city not for his kindness, but for his intimidating presence. A towering biker with arms covered in ink and a leather vest that had seen more bar fights than birthday parties, Jack was feared by many. But today, fear was the last thing on his mind. His face, usually hardened into a permanent scowl, was twisted in pure agony. Trapped beneath a massive slab of fallen masonry was his 7-year-old daughter, Lily. Her small hand was visible, twitching weakly amidst the debris, but her cries had grown faint. Firefighters arrived quickly, deploying heavy machinery and assessing the structural integrity of the pile. The lead captain shook his head grimly as he looked at Jack. "Sir, we can't move this main beam yet. If we shift it even an inch, the whole pile could collapse again. We need stabilizers. It's going to take time we don't have." Time. The one thing Lily didn't have. The air was thick with dust, making every breath a struggle. The little girl's breathing was shallow, her energy fading as the oxygen levels dropped in the tight crevice. "We have to do something," Jack roared, stepping forward, his fists clenched. But even his immense strength was useless against tons of concrete. For the first time in his life, the feared biker felt completely powerless. He fell to his knees, tears cutting clean tracks through the grime on his cheeks, whispering prayers to a god he hadn't spoken to in years. Then a small voice cut through the murmuring crowd. "I can fit." Everyone turned. Standing there, covered in soot but eyes bright with determination, was Leo, a 7-year-old boy from down the street. He was slight, barely weighing 60 pounds soaking wet. He wasn't a hero in training. He was just a kid who loved climbing trees and exploring caves. "No," the fire captain said immediately, shielding Leo back. "It's too dangerous. The structure is unstable." "She's going to die if you wait," Leo shouted, his voice cracking but firm. He pointed to a narrow gap between two jagged slabs of concrete, a dark tunnel barely wider than a child's shoulders. "I'm small. I can crawl through there. I can reach her." Jack looked up, his eyes locked with the little boy's. In that gaze, the biker saw no fear, only a terrifying amount of courage. It was a mirror of what he wished he could feel. Slowly, Jack nodded. "Let him try," he rasped, his voice breaking. "Please." The firefighters hesitated, calculating the risk, but seeing the desperation in the father's eyes and the resolve in the boy's stance, they made the call. They rigged a harness around Leo's tiny waist and handed him a radio headset. "Stay calm, Leo," the captain instructed, his voice gentle. "Talk to us. If anything shifts, you pull the cord and we yank you out immediately." Leo took a deep breath, the dusty air burning his lungs. He looked at Jack. "I'll bring her home, mister," he promised. With that, the little boy disappeared into the darkness.
The next few minutes felt like hours to the crowd above. The silence was deafening, broken only by the static of the radio and the heavy breathing of hundreds of people holding their breath. Inside the rubble, it was a nightmare. Sharp edges tore at Leo's clothes, and the dust was so thick he could taste the grit on its tongue. Every movement sent a shower of pebbles cascading down, threatening to seal the tunnel forever. "I see her!" Leo's voice crackled over the radio, thin but triumphant. "She's scared. I'm talking to her." Through the narrow fissure, Leo found Lily pinned by her leg, her eyes closed. He squeezed his small body into the space beside her, ignoring the pain in his ribs. "Hey, Lily," he whispered, taking her cold hand. "My name is Leo. Your dad is right up there. He's waiting for you. You have to be brave, okay? Just like in the stories." Lily opened her eyes, confusion mixing with relief. "It hurts," she whimpered. "I know," Leo said, his voice steady despite his own trembling heart. "But we're going to get you out. Hold my hand. Don't let go." For 20 agonizing minutes, Leo stayed in the death trap, comforting the trapped girl, keeping her awake when she wanted to sleep, and shielding her face from falling dust with his own body. Above ground, Jack paced back and forth, muttering promises to change his life, to be better, to never take a single moment for granted if his daughter survived. Finally, the firefighters managed to create a small opening large enough to extract them. As they gently pulled Leo and Lily out into the sunlight, the crowd erupted. It wasn't a cheer of victory, but a collective sob of relief. Lily was rushed to a waiting ambulance, coughing but alive. But before they loaded her in, she reached out a soot-stained hand. "Leo," she called out weakly. Leo, exhausted and shaking, stumbled toward her. That was when Iron Jack moved. The giant of a man, who terrified neighborhoods and commanded respect through intimidation, dropped to his knees in the dirt before the small boy. The crowd went silent, watching what happened next. Jack, the man who rarely smiled, grabbed Leo's small, dirty hands in his massive, tattooed ones. He bowed his head, pressing his forehead against the boy's knuckles. Tears streamed freely down the biker's face, washing away the dust. "You saved her," Jack choked out, his voice thick with emotion. "You saved my whole world. I don't know how to thank you. You are the bravest soul I have ever known." He looked up, his eyes red-rimmed but shining with a new kind of light. "From this day forward, you are family. Whatever you need, whenever you need it, I am there. You gave me a second chance at life today, son." The sight of the feared biker humbled by a 7-year-old brought tears to hardened firefighters and bystanders alike. It was a powerful reminder that heroism isn't about size, strength, or reputation. It's about the willingness to step into the darkness when everyone else steps back. As the sun finally broke through the clouds, illuminating the dust-filled air with golden rays, Leo hugged Jack. The image of the giant biker holding the small boy became iconic, a symbol of hope rising from tragedy. This story reminds us that angels don't always have wings. Sometimes they are just brave children with big hearts. And sometimes the hardest hearts are the ones most capable of feeling the deepest gratitude. If this story touched your heart and restored your faith in humanity, please hit the like button and share this video with your friends and family. Let's spread this message of courage and kindness to millions. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more emotional, true story-inspired tales that prove love conquers all. Tell us in the comments below, where are you watching from? Let's see how far this story of hope can travel. Until next time, remember, heroes come in all sizes. Thanks for watching.